Black magic, God, Holy Ghost, Lord, orgasmic, order more acid, more than 4 tablets, portal door passage, born before mortal war happened. We were lords way before we were poor black men. Now we like Catherine, only having 4 Jacksons. Sword of pure magic, slaughter 4 dragons. Heat like corduroy fabric, door-to-door tactics. Easy like tortoise on boarded floor backspins. Rapping like the man that created it, and I just play with it. Shine radiant, raising it, sunbathing it. Voice tone sharper than razor tip when I aim it at megaliths, make them raise and lift. You can't relate to this, even if you paint a pic of me and you and somehow make the faces switch. I like to babysit, throne made of baby skin, donated by natives that procreate in sin. They gon' need to raise the rim, they gon' need a cage in that gymnasium. I play to win, Will Still Chamberlain. Put the globe on my middle finger and made it spin. They gon' need to raise the rim, they gon' need the cage in that gymnasium. I play to win, Will Still Chamberlain.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. This is your host, Brother Rich, aka Black Magik. 125th with the bread pill, man. What's good, brother?
Everything.
Yo, they like these Harlem segments with you, where they get to see the people walking by in the background. They like that.
Y'all get to see the scroll. This is the scroll. This is like Instagram. You get to see all of the stories. You know what I mean? This is the city with 8 million stories, so, you know, enjoy.
Indeed, indeed. Yo, so Red, man, we just wrapped up the Gathering of the Metaphysical Masters. Isaiah the Duke of Tears, Dr. Phil Valentine, Brother Panic.
Facts.
We live in a world that's dominated, Red Pill, by our centuries, our senses. What we see on the news, what we hear on the news. You know, Instagram, Facebook, emotions we go through on a day-to-day basis. I'm gonna just tell you something personally that kind of affected me, and I'm trying to approach it in the right direction. You know, a dude in Chicago, they made a young man piss on himself. Police piss on himself.
Policy enforcers.
Piss on himself and cry because what they said, he was a suspect. So, okay, so we're you know, like the brother Isaiah said on Sunday, we're somewhere else projecting ourselves that we're here.
Yes.
For whatever reason, I guess that's different reasons. For you have a reason, I have a reason, whatever. We're in this realm and we're trying to figure out how to maneuver and how our ancients, our ancestors maneuver and what made them so successful. Because from our perspective, we're not successful. So we want to know, well, hey, what the hell did they do to make them successful? So, you know, the ancient, what we have to study is the ancient Egyptians, Kemites, the Cometians or whatever. And we understand that they were into the stars and all that. For some reason, they was fascinated with the stars, Orion Belt, the Sirius constellation, preparing yourself for death. Like Panic said, he's a death coach at the lecture. They was fascinated with death for whatever reason. And they understood that there was something beyond what we see right here, right now. With everything that we're going through right now, Red Pill, with the conference that happened, with what I just mentioned to you about the boy that peed on himself, and some people were like, get the strap, like 50, get the strap, you know what I'm saying? What I want to know is, talk to me about the importance of that form of spirituality within our community, because some people will see that as escapism, or you know, you being a sellout, you don't want to deal with the issues at hand. And I asked this question before, but it's very important because we're going through something unique here in America with this quote-unquote black race. Talk to me about that, Red.
Well, excellent question, my brother. One of the main things that I walked away Sunday's conference, one of the main realizations, because I had many realizations that night, but one of the main realizations that stayed with me. Because sometimes you're in the moment and you go through these emotions, but they're just sometimes energy emotions, and you know, you wisen up days later. But what stayed with me was the fact that when I was in that sacred space, meaning wherever our people gather in a group, you dig what I'm saying? Whenever our people of a certain frequency or of a certain creed come together as a collective, that is a sacred space. Inside of that sacred space, many different, you know, inside of that ionosphere, there are many different energies that are exchanging and things of that nature. Remember, we spoke about the fact that when me and another person meet up, I'm of the understanding that our spirits are also having a conversation. You dig what I'm saying? Our spirits are also, you know, either opposing each other or being harmonious towards each other, and you begin to feel that. You'll be like, damn, that person rubbed me the wrong way. I don't ever think I want to see them again.
Wait, so you mean outside the verbal conversation, there's another conversation happening?
On multiple levels.
On multiple levels,
But
okay.
there's a spiritual conversation taking place between kindred spirits. Because you could meet someone and be like, damn, I feel like I've known you forever. Fast forward into your relationship or your friendship down the line, you wind up getting readings, and it comes to find out that you did know each other in past lives and things of that nature, right? So one of the feelings that I felt in that venue was no fear.
That's interesting.
One of the things that I felt in that venue was no fear, because of the realization that I came to that I was in a place where I was supposed to be and where I needed to be, and where all of these solutions were present. Remember, sacred spaces with people who are sacred. We don't objectify objects. We don't look for the sacred nature of things in inanimate objects, in rocks. You know what I'm talking about? Or in buildings, or in megalithic carved out structures. No, I'm looking for it in a living, breathing person. The real book of Eli, the living Bible. So you look for it in your people. So whenever our people come together of a certain ilk, of a certain frequency, of a certain mind state, that's the magical moment. That's where the magic happens. So the fact that a young man will urinate on himself when he's accosted by the policy officers, is subliminally or subconsciously, that young man knows that he has nobody that's going to defend him. He's come to the realization that it's just him against these police. You feel me? The people that are filming him, they're not going to help him. If they beat him up and do him dirty, there's no lawyer that can help him, because the way that he sees it, based off of the psyops, if you go against us, remember the psyops is white supremacy. It's to convince you that actual whites are supreme. That's the whole thing behind the psyops. From the presidency all the way down to when you see these lynchings taking place in social media. It's to convince you. And then when the media, on the same way that they showed you that video, the Harris video with all of the talking heads, and they were repeating the same lines. Well, the same way that all of the media started saying white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy, racism, white supremacy, because the psyops is to convince you through cognitive dissonance that they're more supreme than you. So the only way that somebody will pee on themselves when they're in the presence of these police officers, if they think that they're more supreme than them. That wasn't necessarily our mind state 10 years ago. That definitely wasn't our mind state 20 years ago. Why is that? Because in the media, we were not being marketed this idea. We're being marketed a concept. We're being marketed an idea. We're being marketed an image of a people that it's not really real. And we're giving them our power. We're forfeiting our reality to them to make them bigger than us. So when I'm in spaces with brothers and sisters that are vibrating at a certain frequency, and when the information that's being delivered is at a certain frequency, and when the reciprocation of love and things of that nature, people are actually moving in love, and they're not faking it. It's not like they're in there fronting and whatnot, because you can feel it. Is that a fact? Did you feel it in the air?
That's a fact, yes sir.
When I was looking at people in their eyes, and I was talking to people and I saw the joy in their eyes just to be there, not on some groupie shit, not on some adoration, just to say, yo, I've been trying to get here for a very long time. Because this YouTube thing is cute and everything. But imagine if those 20,000 people that are actually watching the video was in real life watching the video. Do you know the difference in energy? So here it is, we doing these videos, we going viral and whatnot, but you're not really feeling the reciprocation of the real love. That's the digital world, but in this analog, in this real world, that's where the power is. And when we get into rooms where we really are amongst each other, that's a sacred space. And that's where the ionosphere is charged up in the negative ions. Remember, a trillionaire is a trillion ions in the air. Okay? A billionaire, billion ions in the air. What do ions do? Ions help manifest thought. So they tell you if you want to be rich, go amongst rich folk. If you want to be successful, go amongst them because their ionosphere is charged up. Whatever room they're in is a sacred space. And then they also tell you to go in there and play the part. You have to be. So on Sunday, people were being. They were in their I am. The brothers that were rolling, the Muftis, the Moorish brothers that were with Asir, I self-law and master, they were living who they are. The people who were coming to see Panic on their dark shit, you know what I mean, on their dark side shit,
the shirts.
It was Baphomet Central. Talk to me. You know what I'm talking about? They had the Baphomet jewelry on. You know what I'm talking about? They had the pentagrams. They had the, you know, different things. But I felt the energy, and there's one thing that I said on the Melanin Monday. For some reason, my brothers and sisters who practice certain schools of thought and knowledge are not in lack.
No, metaphysics. This is the second joint I did. You notice a difference, right?
I noticed the difference. And I'm not out here pointing fingers, but my brothers and sisters who see the world through a perspective in a certain way, and they've detached themselves from certain limitations and certain kind of perception of not only who they are, but what this actual world, this actual simulation is. The fact that if you want to manifest abundance, you just got to manifest abundance. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no white people parachuting out of the IRS building stopping you. You know what I'm talking about? Like, nobody is stopping you from manifesting through your mind, knowing that all is mental, knowing that you could bring about any reality that you choose to be a part of and also to be a master of. Facts. And being amongst my brothers and sisters, it only reiterates, it only strengthens that foundation that I could be whoever I want to be. I could be great because I am amongst great people.
Yo, real quick, Red.
I'm amongst greatness.
I just got this message.
Yeah.
You know how everybody, quote unquote, spirituals talking about numbers, right?
Yes, yes.
Shout out to, let me see if this show on the phone. Oh, man. It won't show. Yeah, it won't show, but shout out to Spurgeon Thomas. Red, you hear me?
I'm listening.
Shout out to Spurgeon Thomas, who just made a donation to me for $77.77.
Facts.
So that's 7777.
777. Facts.
That's the 7777. And we're talking about metaphysics. So numbers are extremely when the universe talks to us.
That's the language of the universe.
Symbols. Panic
Logos.
talked about that.
Logos.
Panic talked about that.
Yeah.
The language is symbols. So shout out to Spurgeon Thomas, who sent $77.77 to Brother
right.
Rich. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Shout out to everybody who said something, you know, regardless of what you said. But it was just, you know, not a coincidence that we're talking about this.
There's no such thing as coincidences.
And the brother sent 7777.
Listen,
go ahead, brother.
The great divine speaks through signs. Be in alignment. That's all we just trying to say. Be in alignment. You know what I'm talking about? We are forfeiting our greatness. We are forfeiting our power. We are forfeiting our future by focusing on what? The marketing campaign that the media is selling us. The marketing campaign that the white fragilists are giving us.
Red. So just personally for me, I want to ask you a bit of advice. Because my girl sent me the post with the little boy crying.
Yeah.
and I was about to have my upset moment. Is that buying into the media's marketing campaign if I get upset, my brother?
Yes, it definitely is. And
my brother, I mean, I'm a
only-
human. I feel Kanye West won't have that moment because he don't give a fuck. So you want me to be a Kanye West out here?
Not at all. I want you to be.
I'm trying to figure it out. I don't want to be Kanye, but I also don't want to be a slave to what the media is feeding me.
Yes.
So I want to figure out the middle ground.
It's a double-edged sword because you don't necessarily want to be dehumanized.
Right.
You don't want to be desensitized. When you become desensitized to the plight of your people, based off of whatever temporary environments you may find yourself in. Case in point, let's say that I go somewhere where it's, quote unquote, I'm surrounded by Europeans who are living, quote unquote, opulent, right?
Hollywood?
I'm in a gated community,
Hollywood
type shit, and I get on my
Calabasas?
Hollywood. Yeah, I get on my Calabasas type shit. I turn into a Kardashian, right? And I become Hollywood based off of my temporary environment, and then I become less empathetic, or I become less sympathetic towards the plight of my people because of my temporary placement, right? And then I discredit their suffering, or I discredit anything that they're going to because of my individual gain. That's some bird ass shit. That's some sucker shit. That's not how you approach things, right? What you would do by approaching things, if you find yourself in a place of opulence, or if you find yourself in a place where life is not as strenuous or as, compromising as where you just came from in that environment, you know what I'm saying? You honor the moment. You honor the moment. But at the same time, how you can help those who are not in the moment is you could either share the moment and not in a way where you're making people feel like it's out of their reach, or you can help create an environment where those people can now come into. So I'm telling you that when you watch these videos, it's sort of like what the brother Panic explains in his teaching. It's sort of like what Phil Valentine explains in his teachings. It's sort of like what brother Asir explains. What about being the observer? What about being the observer and removing all of that energy and motion? Because guess what? You're being marketed, brother Oba, on Urban X, Black Dots podcast. Him and Malcolm, they put it up yesterday. He was speaking about the fact that his Palo Mayombe teachers teach him that this world that we live in is just a marketplace. This is a marketplace in which everybody is being marketed to because everything's for sale, even love. You understand? Even the sensation that comes from sex, everything is for sale. Everything has a price in this marketplace. So the social engineers behind the scenes, the Edward Bernays of the world, the marketing, the advertisement, because remember, the industry, what is known as the music industry, is no longer the music industry. It's the advertisement industry, okay? This brother works in film. The film industry has turned into marketing and campaigning advertisement. That's bigger than all of that shit. If you look at the budgets for advertisement, it trumps all of these other things because everything is a marketplace. So what are they selling us in the media? Fear. What are they selling us in the media? Servitude or subservient, passive aggressive, you know what I mean? Liberal, programming. Suggestive behaviorism. You understand? They're selling you the fact that they want to checkmate you. They want you to lay down your weapons. They want to domesticate your wild, savage ass. You understand? To do what? To make you one of their subordinates. Case in point. Any venue or any marketplace that you enter into that they control, there's systems set up. Corporate America has a system set up. It's a reward system, a penalty system, and a value system. Corporate America says this: when you get into any corporate America job, what do you have to do? You got to read the rules in the beginning, right? So they're giving you the rules to abide by when you're inside of their marketplace. You have to speak a certain way. You have to act a certain way. Based off of contractual agreements, you're not allowed to say certain things. You're not allowed to voice. You're not allowed to be you. You can't be I am in those marketplaces because they set up a penalty system. Oh, you want to get in here and act like you God, nigga? We'll get rid of you in the marketplace. Oh, you want a job, sister, in Hollywood? Well, I got you. There's a couch right here, and I got the gang casting couch because there's a reward system when you get casted, right? But the penalty system, like the Harvey Weinstein scandal was showing, is that you could get raped or you could get kicked out of the industry. Henceforth, the whole Me Too thing.
And not just by women, men too. Terry Crews.
Men, yeah. Of course, men more than women.
That's more than the women.
And you've never heard a LBGT Me Too moment.
They don't talk about that.
You never, I mean, Corey Feldman and the other one, but other than that.
And even that was some child pedophilia that they.
Exactly, but like I was saying, so in those marketplaces, there are rules. In this marketplace, there are rules. You dig what I'm saying? In the reality that me and you live in, there are rules. So when are we going to begin to focus on the rules or the laws that govern the universe or the world that we live in? So based off of those rules, Brother Rich, I would say when I observe lynchings or when I observe fear-mongering campaigns or when I observe victimhood, I'm looking for the W. Are you going to watch, if you're a LeBron fan, when they lost the game, you going to keep watching the game they lost?
No.
You don't need to keep watching it to know that the next game you need to win, right?
Right.
Okay, they watch the games to see the mistakes that they made. So are we reviewing all of these lynchings? Are we reviewing all of these incidents to watch for the play? Are we looking for the errors in the play? Or are we just indulging in what? Slave porn.
That's a great.
So what are we indulging in?
That's great.
We indulging in fear mongering. What are we indulging in?
That's a great
This
analogy.
is slop. This is chitlins to the brain. You understand what I'm saying?
Teach,
and what it's doing is compromising. It's compromising the I am. It's compromising who you are.
The real
you. When you punch in, you're not the real you because of the fact that they set up a system of penalties. They set up a system of what? Rewards, and they set up another system of value. I worked in corporate. You don't want to be in corporate America and not feel valued. You got to walk around with all the reward pins and stuff on you. You know what I'm talking about? So we are being compromised in this reality. Yeah, it's a lot of bodies being.
The people say that. They was like, yo.
We're being compromised in this reality that we find ourselves in if we don't collectively unplug ourselves. I could tell I see the Duke of Tears is a free man. You understand? I could tell that Brother Panic is a free man because you have to untie yourself from all of these places that are compromising the I am. You have to be able to live your purpose. You have to be able, and I'm taking no shots at anybody in corporate. I'm not taking any shots at anybody 9 to 5 in. That, when I'm talking about that, I'm not negating what it is that you have to do to provide for you and yours and things of that nature. What I said though, on the flip side of that is you can make the conscious decision to do what? Still.
Hold on, let this go, but this shit is crazy, man.
Yeah.
These ambulances, man. This New York City, family. This shit is crazy. This New York City. This New York City, family. I should have put my camera on the ambulance. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, you could decide to tap into your superpower. You could decide to tap into your skill set. You could decide to tap into your gifts or your talents, which are natural, which came with you pre-packaged. Everybody got a few.
Yes, sir.
You got to find yours.
Yes, sir.
And all I'm saying is you can transition. The only thing that's constant is change. So if I met you as a bus driver, you could turn into a black dot. Yes, facts. Sir. There's no limits to your godhood or your goddesshood. That's all I'm saying.
Red,
so that's the limit. Our children are becoming limited in their godhood, in their goddesshood.
Yeah.
Because of society. It's bigger than just the media. This is a machine. And where I do agree about white supremacy in all facets is the definition that Francis Cress Wilson and my good brother Neely Fulson explains. Fuller, right? That's what I agree to that. I understand where they're coming from. The formula that they lay out, I'm in total agreement with that. And yes, all of those arms and all of those tentacles play a part in this illusion, in this matrix. So to bring it all the way back around, this is what I have to say. In that room on Sunday, I figured out that we're all that we need. The only thing that's keeping us apart is some bullshit. You understand? They could easily get put to the side because the purpose is bigger than each individual. Okay? And if we focus on this European, or we focus on the victimhood, or we focus on what they're doing to us, it only increases the power of it. It only legitimizes it from the perspective of the observer. Why don't we start looking at each other? Why don't we look at the beauty? You know how many beautiful people I saw? I could look at them all my life. I don't gotta look. So if that's 700, we're only looking at we're only meeting 0.00001% of the audience. So I'm focused on us now. You understand? Because if you keep looking for evil, you're gonna find it. So we keep looking at this victimhood, these lynchings. We keep finding the shit. So don't ignore it, but use that as the fuel to begin to change things.
Be inspired by it.
Be inspired to be victorious. Right. Utilize alchemy and turn that base metal, turn those negative stories into $1 million movie if need be, and then fund, a foundation, the family of the victims, whatever it may be. You are a cultural icon. You are a cultural connoisseur. You are hip hop. Put that shit in the gumbo pot. Look at what Childish Gambino did with This Is America, right? Look what J. Cole did with K.O.D. Look what Kendrick did with Damn and other things. These are alchemists.
You ain't like this. You ain't like the video. I loved it. You ain't like it. You ain't like it.
What? This Is America?
Yeah, you ain't like it.
All right.
Yo, you're a funny dude.
Y'all not talking about the video no more, though, but we go ahead. Shout out to Childish Gambino.
That was video of the year, brother. You try to say that. Are you still?
The year's not over though. I'm just saying.
That was video of the year.
The year is not over. Let's go. Yeah, y'all. Phil T. Moreland at YouTube. Sign up, go and subscribe. We do Melanin Mondays. Patreon /Red Pillar. Twin the album. Alright. They had copyright issues on it, so we can't play it on the channel right now. But go and get that album. Go on twinthealbum.com. 23 songs, Red and Blue Pillar. Peace.
Peace.
The DVD is now available. Also, you could also stream it. You can stream it on Patreon. You could go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/blackmagic363, and you can stream it on there. Or if you want a physical hard copy, the DVD also has behind the scenes footage. The DVD is, the DVD is absolutely amazing. It's like a collector's edition at this point. But if you want the DVD, you can send a PayPal payment to my PayPal and I'll mail it out to you.
Black magic, God, Holy Ghost, Lord, orgasmic, order more acid, more than 4 tablets, portal door passage, born before mortal war happened. We were lords way before we were poor black men. Now we like Catherine, only having 4 Jacksons. Swore to pure magic, slaughter 4 dragons. Heat like corduroy fabric, door-to-door tactics. Easy like tortoise on boarded floor backspins. Rapping like the man that created it, and I just play with it. Shine radiant, raising it, sunbathing it. Voice tone sharper than razor tip when I aim it at megaliths, make them raise and lift. You can't relate to this, even if you paint a pic of me and you and somehow make the faces switch. I like to babysit. Throne made of baby skin. Donated by natives that procreate in sin. They gon' need to raise the rim. They gon' need a cage in that gymnasium. I play to win, Will Still Chamberlain. Put the globe on my middle finger and made it spin. They gon' need to raise the rim. They gon' need a cage in that gymnasium. I play to win, Will Still Chamberlain.